And it is a situation in this case, Brian, where when you're up there, you've been up there all year, it's very hard to stay up. And but they're that 2 points clear of Golden Square. I don't think they'll lose top spot before the end of the year unless there is a shock result somewhere.
Well, Smith back into their side. I think he played last week against Maryborough, but he's back in their side today. And the bounce of the ball is about to start here in the middle of the ground. Blake gets out of there, gives a nice little hand out now. Gisborne go inside forward 50, just over the back. Good work, though, by, that was Walsh, got it out. Now they're able to work at the Dragons. No, in... Well, couldn't hit a target. Ball off the pack. Going in hard there was Connick. Couldn't quite get it. Ball up in the air. Just not fumbling was Nelly. Ended up with Banaki. Well, on the left boot. Put it inside forward 50. Bouncing ball. Oh, big strong tackle there and brought to ground. Hood will get the free kick for the Dragons.
Advantage was paid. It was Walsh that ran off with the footy. Then he handballed it over to Coughlin. Outer side of the ground. Here they come again now early. It is Wilkinson with the footy for the Dragons. Inside forward 50. They'll set themselves. 35 out. Lakey swoops on it for the Dogs. Give it to Panaki. The old 1-2. And Graham quickly hurries it out and sends it up to the outer side wing.
Half forward. It goes front and square. Front and square was Ben Castellano, he got it forward. Good work by Nelly. Couldn't take the mark. I hit the ground running though. Good long kick down the line, but it's been cut off again. And Graham takes it for the Dogs on half back.
And in that crushing marking contest before, unfortunately, Lockie Hood's being brought off by between two trainers. He can't walk.
The football was turned over by the Dogs and Sandhurst sent it inside forward 50. The Dogs will win it back, however. It's in the back pocket. No score on the board. Short pass. Lord receives for the Dogs. Good pass. Hits up Brian Cazziano of the Dogs. They've got players running here. Lord receives. Goes short to Graham. Graham now sends it to half forward for the Dogs, but kicked it straight to Curnow of the Dragons. And how many times do we see this happen?
Too easy. Just a little chip over the top. It's Cooper Smith takes the kick from Curnow on centre wing. Chips it inside. Had the big fella in the ruckman standing there in Hosking. He takes it. He just holds it up. Now looks, gets on that left boot, puts it up and under, puts it deep. Thornton, the target up and takes a good strong mark inside forward 50. Turned around and saw that he was within distance, and he'll go back and have the first shot on goal for the Dragons as we just tick over into about the 2.5 minute mark of the first quarter. Well, he's not quite sure. Now runs hard, runs around the mark, gives it a fair hoos, gets to the point of the square, can't get it. Little chip around the corner. No one can actually take hold of it. A chip and off the bat was Collins, kicked it right across the face, over the line, out of bounds.
No, mark taken.
Was it? Just inside
just
the
inside.
post.
Yep.
And it will be the Bulldogs from fullback.
So, no score on the board as yet. Short pass by Spear. Spots up Lakey. Lakey of the Dogs in his defensive zone. Short pass. Still in the defensive 50. Spots up a teammate. So they've got some system. Well, they're just holding up the footy and waiting for players to break. Banaki was on the end of this one. Left half back hard up against the boundary line. Swimming pool side down the line. Kicked it straight to Jake Wilkinson of the Dragons.
Wilkinson just on half back. Just settles it down a little. Ball's up and down the ground. No one really making great work of it as Wilkinson takes it, the brother of. And he kicks it long and wide, finds Connick on the centre wing, just on the outer side, turns, looks inside, good kick. Finds Coughlin. That is James, because Lee ain't out there. And James Coughlin will go back and have a shot on goal from about 45 out directly in front. Well, the Dragons have been inside forward 50. Hasn't been able to put a score on the board. Is this the first one of the afternoon? Coughlin will cross the arc of 50. 45. Gets onto it. Puts plenty onto it. It's not going to make the distance. Big bark in the pack. And he'll play on. The umpire call. And it's going to be forced through for the first minor score of the afternoon at the 4 minute mark of the big game here between Gisborne and Sandhurst.
Cassidy kicked it in. Kicks it to Reaper. Reaper of the Dogs, beyond 50, and he coughed that up as well. He's kicked it straight to Jake McLean. Turnover. Jake McLean, handball to Noah Walsh, running shotgun. Hard up against the boundary line. Good pass. Stagg got his hands on the footy but just fumbled. It was good defensive punch from behind. It was Benaki getting involved. We'll have a ball in. 20 metres around from Sandhurst goal to the Barnard Street end. No goal, no score on the ball. In fact, there's one behind, as it's Blake who wins it for the Dogs, but swooping onto his Collins. Goes one way, then the other. Cooper Smith getting involved. Dishes off a handball to big Hosking. The ruckman goes goalward, kicks it out of bounds on the full. So no change to the score. We go to 2 behinds Dragons. Gisborne yet to score. Early stages opening term. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
A couple of good signs for Sandhurst early. Thornton getting his hands on the ball when it goes forward, and Hoskin kicking when he gets it instead of handballing.
Reaper, Vescovi. Chips it out, finds another teammate. They're just linking up. They probably haven't got any further away from goal. The Dogs in the forward pocket. He hits the work. Good work to Benaki. Benaki then takes on and plays on. Did very nicely. Hit the target of Graham on the run. Got around his opponent. Put it on the boot. Put it deep. Kerno going back with the flight. Did well. Just was able to get hold of it. Then a quick handball ended up in the hands of Nelly, who was under plenty of pressure. And eventually the umpire said, no, give it to me, and then I'll ball it up. About 45 out from the Dogs' goal.
In the ruck, Eels did well. Getting involved also was Webber for the Dogs, sends it goalward. It's an awkward kick. Coughlin, that's James for the Dragons. His handsball is smothered, and it goes over the boundary line, hard up against the point. Dogs in attack. It was 2 points, wasn't it? I think they're just lagging on the scoreboard. Two points, yeah. Playing 0. Dogs in attack, kicking to the city end. It'll be Eels against Hosking. Hosking front position. In fact, it just spilled. Jake McLean, also Noel Walsh of the Dragons getting involved. A lot of players around the footy. They all dive on top of it. And 38 from goal. Dogs attack. We'll have another ball up. 2 points playing 0. Gisborne trailing. 7 minutes gone. Opening term. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Hoskin, Eels. Hoskin gets it down off the pack. Good held there. Lakey didn't get a free kick. The Dogs. Ball pushed around. Umpire just calling play on. Quick kick out of the pack. Bouncing ball. Got over the top. Collins couldn't quite handle it. Did well though. Little toe poke. Put it out towards Wharton. He was able to give it back to Smith. Cooper Smith down the line. Going back though. Reaper just took it and takes a nice mark. Chips it in. Finds a teammate who plays on there in Webber.
Webber goes long and intercepting mark again. Turnover. Kerno. Or a handball to Ruff. Ruff couldn't quite collect. Walsh does. Just shrugs off tackles. He's got a handball inboard. Wilkinson. Handballs Collins. Dragons. Now that kick has come off the inside of the boot and it's another turnover. Graham. He's pinged. He tried to don't argue. Yep. Umpire needs to call it and umpire Snell does. And it'll be Wharton. Alex Wharton now. Short pass to half forward for the Dragons. They're building. Smith. Wilkinson, in fact, he'll go to the top of the square, poor kick, and it's Reaper who intercepts for the Dogs, doing the same job that Kerno's doing down the other end for the Dragons.
He does, and gives it off, gives it to Webber. He plays on, has the bounce on the outer side, centre wing, looks inside, finds a teammate there, nice in Burke. Burke then looks inside, has a little chip, gets it smothered, cut off by McLean. Paul Pratt it was, kicked it out wide, couldn't hit the target, turnover again. And it was the man, again, Webber off half-back, chipped it down and finds a target on the outer side.
So the Dogs now, they'll come inboard, corridor. Lakey collects for the Dogs. He looks and goes shallow inside, forward 50. They set themselves, but Tanner Nally was the only one that showed composure. Another turnover. Dragons, they've got possession of the footy. Short pass, only went the required distance laterally to Alex Wharton.
Did well, Wharton, there, I thought. Just hold it up because he had nothing to kick to down here, Norm.
No, he didn't. You're right there, Brian. And already we've got Kerno 3 intercept marks one end, and the other end, Reaper, also 3 intercept marks.
Matty Wilkinson received, left half back. Just in front of the Golden Dragons here, celebrating 3 premierships through the 70s and 80s. Wilkinson now, down the line. He'll go long. Double-fisted punch towards the boundary line. And that goes over, and we'll have a ball in.
Conforti hasn't really touched the ball as
Haven't
yet.
Seen him.
Has not, and has, I think, going to have a fair tag on top of him. I think Lord is going to run everywhere he goes. Ball thrown in, centre wing, slightly into advantage. Thrown out of the pack there was the big fella, Blake, and free by Hosking, and a free kick paid to the Bulldogs. Just on half back. He looks up, had a player in support, decides to come out wide, good kick, hits the target, finds Ealings.
Goes inboard. Allings it was.
Allings, sorry.
Now it is the Dogs. They go inside forward 50, and it's a mark directly in front, and it'll be Danahy to line them up. Distance won't be a problem, and they should take the lead. I'm sure the Dragons have got 2 behinds on the board, but we'll sort that out at quarter time.
I'm just thinking about that. I think it didn't quite go
Didn't quite
through.
make it.
No.
Maybe I took your call, Brian. Danahy punches the air as he kicks it. So they take the lead. Their first real strike at goal. It's a good one. He made space. 1 goal, straight 6. And I'll go with the scorers here. 1 behind Dragons. Haven't approached the halfway mark of this opening term yet. 10 minutes, in fact. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Yeah, an excellent passage of play there by Gisborne. And young Matty Webber up from their under-18s last year. And a lovely pass there and a great lead from Zach Dennehy. He demanded the football. It was given to him. Great mark and great finish.
Good, strong hands. Very, very
He
strong
has got
hands.
a very good pair of hands, Brian, and if he leads like that all the time, very hard for a backman to get the ball away from him.
Ball back in the middle. Dragons have had it inside, can't hit the scoreboard as yet. Hosking taps it off the pack, ball at ground level, Conforti can't get hold of it. Good strong contest going there. Paul Pratt went to pick it up, got taken to ground, ball held up. Umpire says no, give it to me. And I'll ball it up as a couple of boys there, Ellings and also there Cooper Smith just making acquaintance.
Well, why wouldn't you? Hosking, he won the tap, but it was swept on by Benaki of the Dogs. Short pass. It's all tied up. It'll be a ball up just forward of centre. The Dogs in attack. QEO, dark skies here. No rain on the horizon. We can see on the map anyway. It's really still conditions. Up they go on the ruck. Blake wins it for the Dogs. They'll go forward through it again, but good tackling Dragons, all tied up. So we're on centre half forward. It's the Dogs in attack. They lead 1 goal straight, 6 Sandhurst, 1 behind. 11 minutes gone. Opening term, footy fresh. Is Bendigo Football Live.
A few fumbles in the pack. Hoskin got the tap down. Paul Pratt just couldn't quite get the handle on it. Went to ground. Stacks on the mill. Umpire says no, give it to me and I'll ball it up again. Same spot. Good tap by Blake. Webber coming through hard. Runs, gets on the left, goes long and deep. Bouncing ball's going to go over the line, out of bounds. Throw in just around from the point post on the scoreboard side of the goals at the city end of the QEO, and there will be a throw in deep into attack for the Bulldogs again.
5-point margin. It's the Dogs. They lead at the QA. Hosking for the Dragons wins it in the direction of Tananelli. Just an awkward-looking handball. They need to be careful here. Right at the top of the square. It's spilt in the direction of Thomas, who banged it on the boot. He probably had more time than he thought. Then it come off hands, and it was a minor score. 1 goal, 1-7 Dogs. 1 behind Dragons. 13 minutes gone, opening term. Footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Kerno just hit Paul Pratt. He went dong down the line. Couldn't quite hit the target. Wharton went over the top of it. Couldn't quite get it. Went to get the handball out. Was just impeded as he did. Ball then held up. And it'll be a ball up, half forward. Centre wing, but slightly into the advantage of the Dogs as the ruckman sets themselves again. Hoskin can't quite get the tap down. Paul Pratt there, does get it. Bangs it on the boot, puts it forward. Bouncing ball inside forward 50. Running hard and getting it was Cassidy. Couldn't quite get it. He gave the handball back. Gonna be pinged, gone. Collins got him pinged, and then will be a free kick. Andrew Collins will take it just outside forward 50.
He's on his game here, Andrew Collins. He's had a couple of possessions. He looks dangerous. Plays on now. He'll kick it long and wide into the pocket. He's got a player breaking for him, taking a mark, and it might be Joel Wharton that's done it. In fact, Joel Wharton's not even out there this afternoon, so it's not him.
It might be Connick, I'd say.
Geez, they looked alike with a long sleeve, but it is Connick. Just thought I'd throw that one in for Kyle, who's listening up in the grandstand. She asked me how many blues I was going to make today. That'll be the only one. Connick now.
The only one will tell.
That's it. Connick, he's an awkward-looking kick, awkward ball drop, and everything about it was not good. It was a minor score, including calling his name. It's now 2 points, Sandhurst, 1-1-7 Gisborne. 14 minutes gone, opening term. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Well, Dragons not hitting the scoreboard. Neither are the Dogs. Both sides having not much of it. Big punch away from the pack by Kerno. Got it towards, I think it was Cassidy. No, it might have been Graham. And eventually over the line for a throw-in. About 55 out from the Dragons' goal. Grandstand side of the QEO. Barnard Street end. Ball about to be thrown in. Big fella's come on at the moment is Monk. He gets the ball down. Running through was Benaki. Got hold of McLean. Took him to ground. Umpire said, give it to me and I'll ball it up on half forward. Actually, it was Lakey who took the tackle in.
At least he's on the ground, Brian. As McLean, he won it from the throw in and then put it inside forward 50. But Bartel for the Dogs picks it up. He spreads it wide. Poor kick. It's another turnover. Wharton, this is Alex. He is playing. Gives it by hand to Coughlin. That's a nasty tackle. That's a sling. I don't know whether the umpire's going to pay it, but he slammed the opposition player Coughlin's head into the ground, but he's okay. I didn't have a good look about it. Everything's all fine though. Now it is on half forward. Inside forward 50, shallow, Dragons attack. Graham getting involved for the Dogs again. Hard up against the boundary line. James Coughlin receives a little handball but stepped over the boundary line and it will be a ball in. 30 metres out from the Dragons' goal. 15 minutes gone. They trail by 5 points. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
And the tackling from both sides has been ferocious, making it very difficult for players from either side to get a clear handball or kick.
Ball thrown back in, out of the pack, quick kick away, and eventually it was, good enough. Burke takes the mark for the Dogs. Now they play on quickly. Go to centre wing. Good mark up over the top. There was Luxmore. Yep, Luxmore chips it inside, has the run and carry, and they go through the centre of the ground. Ball got over the back, but it's going to be turned over. Dragons got numbers. Long handball out wide. Finds Wilkinson. He got the ball smothered. Turnover, and the ball has gone to Ben Castellano. Ball inside forward 50, big punch away, but they've got numbers. Walsh gets the handball out, finds Kerno, who was fumbled out. Ball still tackled, got a high one. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to the Dogs, and it'll be about 45 metres out. No real angle to talk about, and they'll go back and have a shot on goal. I can't make it who that player is at the moment, but the Dogs will have a shot on goal. Kerno stands the mark at 40 metres. He kicks from 45. He looks happy about it, and it is Merritt who gets it for the Dogs, and he runs straight off the ground. They get their second here this afternoon. They go to 2 goals straight 12. They lead the Dragons 1 behind. We're not sure. 2 behinds. It is at the 17-minute mark. Footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Once again, he won't get a stat for it, but that came from a lovely smother by Matty Webber.
Yep.
As we said, the ball was about to exit the Gisborne forward line, and he smothered a kick magnificently, followed through and kicked it into their forward line to cause the contest.
Back into the middle. Up they go in the ruck. No clear winner. Carraher getting involved, picks it up, then he gets tackled for the Dragons. Umpire letting it go. Good umpiring. Is it going to come out? It will. Carraher again. Can't quite take it cleanly. Now it will certainly be a stoppage, you would think. But a fair bit of intensity in the middle. Sandhurst trail by 11. We've gone 18 minutes. Opening term, footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Monk, Blake, ball off the pack. Blake got hold of it, then tackled, brought to ground. And eventually the umpire said, no, give it to me. No, the big fella was Eels, who was in the ruck. Monk. Eels just works him under it. Quick kick away, but it's been taken by Walsh. Takes the mark, goes out wide, finds the target in Connick, who takes the mark on centre wing. He goes back, just holds it up, has the lead, looking for there in Conforti. Good hands, takes the mark now on half forward, gets on that left boot, goes inside forward 50, got over the back of right, ball off the pack. Now the Dogs, they can work it out, missing the handball, dropping probably what they should have taken, now under pressure. Coughlin's in there, so is Eels, can't work it out. Benaki's there, they work it around the pack, plenty of numbers, and Lord was there as well. And eventually the umpire said, no, give it to me and I'll ball it up.
How good is the Sandhurst Footy Club? We've got
unbelievable
chicken burgers up here. Quarter time can't come quick enough in the commentary box. As the ball, it's inside forward 50 for the Dragons. They just haven't been able to hit the scoreboard in a major way in this opening term. Hard to believe that they may be goalless at quarter time, which is only probably 3 or 4 minutes away as we approach red time, as we have another stoppage. 40 metres out from goal as Hosking comes in and relieves Monk. Hosking coming back onto the ground. Umpire balls it up. Thornton doing the ruck work inside forward 50. But it will be the Dogs through Lakey. Lakey kicked the slews off the side of the boot in the area of Bran Cazziano.
Ball over towards Nelly. He just sees it over the line, and it will be thrown in on the outer side of the QEO here at the 20-minute mark. We just hit red time, and it is an 11-point ball game. The Bulldogs, they lead. Hosking takes it out of the ruck, gives the handball off to Conforti. Now they work and run through Connick, going inside forward 50. Wright was there, stuck the Dukes up, and took a good strong mark about, well, he would be any more than 25 metres out on a very, very slight angle. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal and look for the Dragons' first of the afternoon at the 21-minute mark here at the QEO. Well, goalless until now. Wright, Lachlan comes in. Steady as they go. Goal umpire just pats his shoulder, and that gives me the information to say it is 1 behind, and that'll take them to 3 behinds. They trail the Dogs 2-1-13, 21 and a half gone first quarter.
Normington will kick it in for the Dogs. Actually, the goal umpire last night in the AFL tapped his chest. Did you see that? And then called a goal. If you were watching last night.
That was mine.
Yeah. As one of the all-time greats, Paul Wicks, walks past us. As Hosking, left half forward, won the ball, the mark for the Dragons. He'll go inside forward 50, searching for the first goal, the Dragons of this afternoon. They haven't been able to get it. Looks like the Dogs will repel. Handball received, Lakey. Lakey laterally. He'll spot up a teammate in, might be Brethington. He goes and Short finds Bran Cazziano on left half back.
Bran Cazziano just chips it inside. Found Lakey again. He's been busy in this first quarter. Probably had plenty of it as we just waits, holds it up. Half back. Now on the arc, on the right boot. Goes out wide. Big pack forms. A good strong mark. No one could get a hand on it. Blake takes it. Goes off. Goes inside forward 50. Plenty of numbers in there. Now they run. Walsh is off Wilkinson. He goes long, looking for Thornton, who took the mark, had the follow-up, gave it off. They go inside, running. Conforti steps one way. No, it wasn't. It was Smith from the Dragons, bouncing ball, and he's put it through. Well, that is from one end of the ground to the other. Coast-to-coast footy, and the Dragons get their first of the afternoon. They go to 1-3-9. They trail the Dogs 2-1-13. 22 minutes gone. Footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Yes, great mop-up work there by Tananelli. It was a big pack formed. Almost an excellent mark to Zach Dennehy running with the flight of the ball. But ball got to ground level. Nelly got it out. He got it on to Connick. Connick got it to Conforti, and Conforti made no mistake with his handball and gave an easy goal for Smith.
So we're back in the middle. The Dragons, geez, they've made hard work of getting their first goal on the board this afternoon. It's come in red time. We've gone 23 minutes here, opening term. Hosking of the Dragons wins the tap. They'll win it through the middle. Conforti getting involved, gave it by hand to Coughlin. Coughlin on the left. Juggling mark, Dogs, not paid. Lakey, now he tries a little soccer ball that was cute, but there's nobody home. It was McLean, Jake McLean, Dragons, gives it to Stagg. Stagg, he fought hard. By hand, gives it to Hosking. Hosking will emerge. Free kick, Dogs, though. They tried to do too much, didn't they? The Dragons in the end. Now they'll play a little bit of tempo football, kick it down the line, and he kicks it to Luxmore of the Dogs.
He couldn't take the mark, came off to James Coughlin, went across and Walsh, he was able to give the 1-2, needed to get it off real quick, McLean, but got one in the back, fair in the middle, and the umpire spotted it and said it's a free kick. Jake McLean will take it on centre wing for the Dragons. After being infringed there by Ellings, he plays on, arcs it deep inside forward 50, big pack forms, but going back and taking an easy mark there was Cassidy for the Dogs.
He'll kick it to Ellings. It was a poor kick. It just bounced inside the boundary line on left half forward. Dragons in attack. So they've left the door ajar here, the Dogs, for the Dragons to get another one on the board before quarter time. We've gone just under 25 minutes opening term. Umpire will throw it in. Up they go. Blake, a double-handed fist for the Dogs. No clear winner ground level. Merritt's involved at ground level as well. Did well to spill it in the direction of Brethington. He goes long, but no one's there. It's Curnow. Turnover. Dragons. Short pass running through the middle. Coughlin just forward of centre. He'll spread it wide to Collins. Collins has got space and takes a mark 40 out on a 45-degree angle. And we'll slow things down and have a look at goal. Collins. He's directing traffic. He's saying, come at me. They will. The lead is poor. The kick was poor. Turnover. And it is now the Dogs' short pass. Ends up with Webber of the Dogs, who's been pretty good.
He has. Webber. Good run from behind the ball. He chips it out wide, looking for a teammate on the outer side. Finds the teammate. Now they look to play on. No, holds it up. Good kick down the line now. And Benaki ends up on the end of it. Looks one way, goes the other. Stops, props, then has to just chip it into a teammate. Running there was Big Earl. And Eels was unable to get it. And then the ball was held up. And eventually the umpire said, no, give it to me and I'll ball it up. Right on the arc of 50 in front of the scoreboard, where we see it is a 4-point ball game, and it's the Dogs who lead at the 26-minute mark of the first quarter.
Cooper Smith, handballs, Alex Wharton, underground, awkward-looking ball, coughs it up. Spear now of the Dogs. He coughed it up. His kick was poor. So a couple of errors by both sides. It's with Coughlin seems to have had a heap of the footy this afternoon. Just absolutely owned it as he kicks it to the outer side wing. Cooper Smith, he paddles it in front of him for the Dragons. He can't collect. He's dived upon. The ball spills in the direction of Wharton. Wharton, a hurried kick along the line. Thornton, little cute handball over the top, but it's a turnover. Dogs now. Good strong tackling by Wright of the Dragons holds it up. And that was on Vescovi. And we'll have a ball up. Right half forward, Dragons in attack to the Barnard Street end. They trail by 4 behinds, 27 gone opening term.
Over the top, ball knocked towards Paul Pratt, doesn't take it, ball over the line, out of bounds for a throw-in. About, 75, I'd say, from the Dragons' goal. Half forward, Hosking sets himself up again, Blake. Blake just works him underneath the ball, did very well. Little kick around the corner wasn't so pretty as the siren sounds for quarter time here at the QEO. And it is the Bulldogs who take the lead into quarter time. 2-1-13. They leave the Dragons 1-3-9.
Wow.
Here. And, certainly they do a great job, Headspace, looking after mental health in and around Bendigo and most country places. And also the Sandhurst Dragons wearing black armbands for the passing of Brian Walsh, a former player here at the Dragons. As the ball is thrown up, no one can win the tap down. Ball at ground level, thrown out of the pack, and it stacks on the mill. And another ball up just outside the centre circle as the two ruckmen set themselves again. Blake and Hosking knocked it down, picked up there nicely by Lakey, handballed it back, couldn't hit the target. Coughlin coming through. Lakey got one high, didn't get a free kick. A couple of little quick ones out of the pack and a quick kick out wide, and it finds the chest of Merritt for the Dogs.
Merritt now. They're just playing a bit of tempo footy, aren't they, Gisborne? I like it when they get the footy. They don't cough it up easily unless it's just a basic skill error. Kick finds Blake, who floated to centre half forward. Blake of the Dogs turns quickly and goes. He's got a player in Graham on. Probably spilt to the back of the pack, but offering support was a teammate in Luxmore. Tried to shrug a tackle. Dragons did well through Nelly. Handball over the top to Curnow, and he'll release to the outer side. It's McLean. Tracks the football towards the boundary line. They'll let it go over. Ball in, and they probably missed out on an opportunity there, the Dogs.
Good pressure, though, by the Dragons' back half. They were able to come in hard and put the pressure on them, Normie, and turn it over.
Yes, they were, and once again it came out from Curnow, who had 5 intercepts in the first quarter. At the other end of the ground, Reaper had 4.
Benaki off the pack, gave it back to Blake. Blake kicked it off the pack and couldn't quite hit a target inside forward 50. It stacks on the mill. Umpire eventually crossing the arms and says, no, give it to me and I'll ball it up. And about 45 metres out from the Dogs' goal, deep into attack again. Ball thrown in the air. Blake and Hosking. Hosking wins it down. No, it was Earls. And then knocked it towards Blake. He couldn't take hold of it. Diving in over the top was Coughlin. And Blake then put the, suplex on him and nearly held him up. And eventually the umpire said, no, give it to me and I will ball it up. This time Blake wins the tap down. Well, grabs it out of the air. Gives the handball out wide. Can't hit a target. End up with McLean over the top. Gave it off. Ball then just, it was actually Paul Pratt to McLean. McLean then fumbling it over the line, out of bounds for another throw-in on the outer side of the QEO. Centre wing. Umpire about to bring it back in as the two ruckmen set themselves in, Hosking and Blake.
Blake and Hosking. Hosking won the tap. He's a strong man. Using his strength now, tried to pick up the footy, dived in on over the top of it. Umpire lets it go. It'll be a stoppage. It'll be ball up. A little bit of byplay going on at ground level. Umpire does the right thing. Snelling throws it up. The tap comes straight to Lakey of the Dogs. He'll send it shallow inside forward 50. Merritt did well, tapped it forward in the direction of Eels, but the boundary line was beckoning and wins in the end. 40 around from the goal at Gisborne attack. We'll have a ball in.
Well, Blake's actually doing a pretty good job on the big fella in Hosking. He's muscling him as much as Hosking is muscling him as Eels. And Hosking go at it. It comes off the pack. Merritt, was it? Running towards goal. Couldn't know it was Burke. Just the wrong side of the stick and through for a minor score here at the QEO. 2-3-15. Or did they change that score that quick? 2-2-14.
I reckon they did.
Yeah, 1-3-9. 3.5 gone. As we wait for the ball to come back.
Yeah, interesting. Nobody behind the goals at the Barnard Street end, so player Curnow had to go and fetch his own football.
Nobody as in nobody.
Nobody as in nobody.
As a crowd. Curnow now spins the footy within his hands. He points to the swimming pool wing and then goes there with a thumping drop punt. It goes well beyond 50. Thornton is the target. Reaper followed him down the ground and did well defensively with a punch, and then the ball hits the deck and we'll have a ball up, another stoppage. 5-point margin. Sandhurst trail, 4 minutes gone. Second term, footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Ball thrown in the air. Ruckman and Blake gets it again. Got held on to and we'll get a free kick. He's just muscling Hosking at the moment. Conforti though, chipped in, took the mark. Played on, looked from behind, got the kick away though, bouncing ball, going to be turned over again. Ball there, end up with Monk, gave it off to his teammate in right. He got slung in the tackle, picked up by Paul Pratt. He handballed it up, Monk again, got tackled, brought down by Lakey, ripped out of his hands there by Stagg, and eventually he was taken to ground. And a little bit of byplay there from Benaki. He just give him a little shove towards the ground, and umpire said, give it to me, boys, and let me ball it up.
Blake tapped it to Benaki, who's tackled by Stagg. Stagg a bit overzealous of the Dragons.
He was a payback, I think.
I think he was looking at a payback there, you're right.
Benaki, he's got a teammate in Spear running wide. Gives him the handball, then Spear goes long inside forward 50. They set themselves, it's a mark. Might be Merritt that's taken it in the forward pocket. And they'll have another shot at goal, the Dogs, as he'll spin the footy in his hands. Might even be...
something going on down the ground. No, there's going to be a free kick. It's going to come down the ground, I think. He got held, and it's going to be a free kick. It's going to go to Burke, I think. Was held off the ball, and it's been relayed down the ground.
Yes, a poor discipline act by Sandhurst then. From what was going to be a hard shot at goal, we got young Ryan Burke straight in front, 30 metres out.
Barnard Street end. But there's no real advantage, you wouldn't think. It was Merritt who he comes off now after he gave up that footy. Burke, it's a poor kick. Goes wide. Opportunity missed. If you're going to beat a side like Sandhurst, you're going to have to make them pay on the scoreboard, which they're not. 2-3-15, 1-3-9 Dragons. 6 minutes gone. Second term, footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Another player that laid back on his kick, John. We see it week in and week out. Don't kick through the football.
Every week.
Walsh from fullback for the Dragons. Runs outside the square. Goes straight down the line. Finds Wilkinson. Matthew takes a good mark. Still just holds it up. Looks around. Umpire eventually calls him to play on. He does. He chips it out wide. Monk running hard. Takes a a good mark on the chest as he rolls over. Just holds it up again. Dragons stop-start footy at the moment. Goes long, down the line. Thornton the target. Good work by Reaper though. Just reaching around with the fist and just bumped it over the line for a ball in on the outer side here at the 5.5, nearly 6.5 minute mark, 7-minute mark as it just ticks over. We see it is a 6-point ball game. It is the Dogs by 6 points. Bendigo footy fresh. Bendigo live.
Blake wins it from the throw-in. Then he sends it inboard. Oh, it was a mark that should have been taken by the Dogs. Brancatiano, another opportunity missed. It was a basic skill error, as now they all dive on top of the footy. 50 out from goal. Dogs attack. We'll have a ball up. Should have took that, Norm. That would have been another, like, really forward thrusted goal.
Well, he had Luxmore all by himself, and Luxmore's still by himself now. Would have then been an easy shot on goal for Luxmore.
Umpire Baxter throws it up. Hosking wins the tap of the Dragons. It'll be another stoppage.
I like the pressure both sides are putting on. When you've got ruck contests, there's nobody at ground level that's on their own. The pressure's there all the time.
Eels and Hosking gave it off. Good tap. Went straight to Smith. Cooper get the ball towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Good work by Carraher. Couldn't quite hit the target while walking past it. Good work, though, by the Vescovi. He was very good down the line, but Conforti went back with good courage and got a high tackle. Played on quickly. Got on that left boot. That is a good kick inside forward. 50. Oh, Thornton just reeled it in with the one hand and tucked it into the chest, leading away from the ball. And he just grabbed it, and it stuck in the big mitt. And Thornton will go back and have a shot on goal from about 30 metres out. Reaper he couldn't believe it. He looked back and thought, that's going over our heads. And he stuck the big juke out, and Thornton was able to take the mark. He'll come in. Look to tie up the game. Thornton, normally a very good kick. As the whistle goes...
Said Reaper jumped over the mark.
He went over the line.
Yes.
Umpire, he's going to see, check whether it was a goal or was a behind. It was a behind. It will be replayed from the square, and Thornton from point-blank range will go back and kick his first of the afternoon and tie the game up here for the Dragons. He goes back. Reaper stands the line. Umpire puts his hand in the air, comes in, chips it over the goal umpire's hat, and it's through for a major. 2-3-15, plays 2-3-15 here at the QEO, and it is game on as the Dragons level it all up.
Yes, a costly mistake by the Gisborne captain there. Instead of it being a behind, it became a certain goal to Matt Thornton, who's done very well today, I've thought. When the ball's gone forward, he's been able to get his hands on it. But that all came from Sam Conforti. In a marking contest, got a whack around the head. He didn't stay on the ground. He was up and off and running before the Gisborne opponent could get up and made that goal with Thornton so nonchalant in the way he took that one-handed mark.
Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live, 58-point margin at Dower Park. The Storm lead as Cooper Smith won it from the middle, from the tap from Hosking. They'll go inside forward 50. It's deep with Stagg. Stagg collects. Little handball over the top to Collins. Oh, he's dancing. He's done about 3 blind turns. Then dished it off to Stagg, who goes round the body goalward. And Reaper right on the line. Well, it would have been a point anyway, but we'll call it a saving mark. And, boy, good build up there by the Dragons.
Certainly was. Reaper from full back. Oh, he's chipped it out, but he's chipped it straight to his opponent in Thornton, who's taken another mark just on the arc of 50. Looks forward. Collins comes out. Good mark. Good strong pressure from behind coming there from Spear. And eventually, though, he was able to take the mark, and Collins will go back and have a shot on goal. Well, I couldn't get any more behind this if I wasn't standing right behind him here at the QEO.
Don't muck it up, Brian.
Don't muck it up.
Well, it was interesting then when, after Collins had taken that mark, he felt the contact was after he'd marked and he was walking towards goal. The umpire made him come back.
Yeah, he did, but he'll go back now. Have a shot on goal. We see exactly what he can see. Steady as it goes. Oh, he started it just a little bit to the left and it went a little bit too much to the right and through for a minor score. 2-4-16. The Dragons, they lead Gisborne for the first time today, 2-3-15, 11 and a half gone in this second quarter.
Cassidy's mucked up the kick in for the Dogs. It's spilled to Conforti of the Dragons. Turnover, and he should have made the Dogs pay and didn't. I thought he might have been hurt for a moment. Another minor score. 2-point margin, Dragons lead.
Kicks it out long. They go out to half forward. Ball up in the air. No one can take the mark. Yes, they can be. Reaper did. Just a little push off.
Knocked it in the air and then took the mark.
Yep, umpire was win. Well, he was saying that was exactly right too. Ball off the pack though as he kicked it down the line, and Niall was able to get a big fist in there and put it over the line out of bounds for another throw in.
Dragons by 2 points. Both sides have given the other sides opportunities through their misses, haven't they? So probably evened it up a little bit. And Jack Reaper tried to give Matty Thornton 2 gifts in a row, and they didn't quite come off. Now it's Hosking in the ruck, but it's good work by Eels of the Dogs. But he turned it over to Cooper Smith of the Dragons. To the back door by hand to Noah Walsh. Noah Walsh goes corridor. Good diving, slips catch by where's Conforti? Conforti spreads it further wide. They're on through Carraher. Carraher to left half forward. Monk takes a chest mark. They've got momentum. Get it going. 70 metres out from goal. It's a left footer. He kicks it to the direction of Thornton. Hands on the footy. Graham overran it for the Dogs. Stagg didn't to the Dragons. A hurried little handball to Collins, which was ineffective. Ground level. Shapano did well for the Dogs to tie it up 50 metres out from his defensive goal. Dragons in attack. They lead by 2 points. Midway second term. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Conforti just starting to come into it, I reckon. It's just he's building very nicely. That was a real nice mark in the middle of the ground as the ball comes off it, and Benaki ended up with it, waiting for Stagg. Those two are making very much their acquaintance today, this afternoon, as the ball went over the line out of bounds for a throw-in. Ruckman set themselves. Eels, Hosking going to get a free kick against him. Yep. He's whacked the arm around the big fella's Eels' shoulder, and the umpire said, that's a little too high, son. Free kick.
Broadcast side, kicks it to the wing, but Kerno's there. Big fist. Carraher on the end of it. It's an errant handball. They could have made them pay, but it'll be the Dogs now that'll get it back the other way. Series of handballs ends up with Merritt. Merritt to a teammate in Shapano. They've mucked it up, but they've got the numbers. He somehow won it back to Benaki. Benaki, oh, he's caught! Noah Walsh, well done, Dragons. And they just stopped him dead in his tracks.
He tried to sell the dummy.
Yep, certainly did. Tried to sell it now. Off the back, Wilkinson goes inside forward 50. Good mark. Good, strong defensive mark there by the big man who's taken it in Vescovi. Took a very nice mark. He was in the middle of 3 others, but took it. Now plays on. Boy, he's going to turn it over, and it has been marked by Ruff for the Dragons just inside the square. Now he holds it up, just waiting, looks from behind. Kerno gives him the advantage. Big hoof, goes to the top of the square. Big pack. Good work, though. Reaper couldn't quite take it. Ball at ground level. Good tackle by Paul Pratt on his opponent there in Spear. And eventually the umpire said, give it to me and I'll ball it up 15 metres out from the Dragons' goal.
Intensity's up in this game. We're in the forward zone for the Dragons. Hurried kick out of the pack. The Dogs, but it was a poor kick. Kerno's lurking. Short pass. He goes to Smith and finds him. Too far out, one would think. He's right on the 50. Talking about having a good look at it. I can see right behind this footy, but he's looking inboard. That's what he's doing. He'll go now to Monk, offers a lead. And it went to the back, actually. I don't know if it was a Fox play. However, didn't matter. Andy Collins did know where to run and takes a chest mark.
He'll say it was a set play.
Yeah. I don't reckon he was the target, but he was in the right spot. Monk,
set play.
But Monk, the big man, offered the lead. Stagg's just drifting into the goal square. If Collins, looking at Stagg, he's going to go there. He is. Stagg is standing at the goal square, plays on, bang, goal. That was so...
That is unselfish. Very unselfish.
But it was so obvious that Andy Collins couldn't do anything else. Poor work, Dogs.
Hello. It's on.
They shouldn't
and another one. Another free kick.
Wow, they're going to get 2 for 1.
Well, don't muck it up now. Go back. Sit on the goal line.
Do that too, I suppose, Brian. Norm, did you see what happened then at the top of the goal square?
There was just a bit of push and shove after Staggy had kicked the goal, and he was thrown to ground. The umpire saw it and has duly given him another kick. I think Staggy was actually looking around for Benaki, who's been his close opponent in recent passages, and Benaki, of course, was sitting on the pine.
Gisborne have been so good, and in the space of 15 seconds, I reckon they've mucked this game up. It's going to be a 14-point margin. Stagg won't miss. Top of the goal square, bang, and he gives them the fist. As that really, really hurts the Dragons. Firstly, it was poor play, and then secondly, it was poor play. I'll let Norm tell you all about it. But the lead now, well, 2 for 1 they got. What's that? 4-5-29 have we gone to? Yes, we have. To 2-3-15. 17 minutes gone, second term. Footy Fresh at Bendigo Football Live.
Yes, that was good play by Sandhurst to get the ball in their forward line. Cooper Smith there, he spotted up that pass that was taken by Collins. I was looking, the last 4 times they came in, they put the ball in the air and Reaper was able to kill it or mark it. And to their credit, they kept it low and they got 2 for 1.
Hoskins out of the ruck, picked up by Lakey, got tackled. Stagg just brought him to ground, held him up. Umpire said no prior, and give it to me and I'll ball it up just on, just outside the centre circle. Ball thrown back in the air. Blake again did very well. Stagg again, he's on fire. He's just started to lift his antics up. Ball inside forward 50. Collins got pushed. Well done by the defence though. Little chip out there by Shapano. He couldn't hit the target. It's going to be turned over. No, it's not. But the Dogs still mucking around it. Can't hit it. Picked up by the Dragons. They go inside forward 50. Big pack. Going over the back. No one can take the mark. Ball at ground level. Picked up there by the young man in Graham. He's under pressure. Went back towards the goal square. Eventually it's going to be forced through and over the line for a minor score for the Dragons. 4-6-30. They lead Gisborne 2-3-15. 18 and a half gone, Johnny, and the intensity has picked up between both sides.
And Sandhurst, I played a little bit of nice footy at the start of this game, but they've got a bit of mongrel in them.
You're allowed to put your headset on.
Wow,
I was wondering why I couldn't hear him.
that was the best call that I've done all afternoon. As we go to the top of the square, they set themselves. Collins, and what I was saying is Sandhurst have been playing some nice footy up until now, and they've got a bit of mongrel into them. And it's a hurried kick, smothered. Paul Pratt trying to get involved. He can't. 30 out from goal. Stoppage, 45-degree angle. 15-point margin.
I like the way both these sides have gone about it today. Sandhurst have upped the intensity, but the young Gisborne side have certainly been going at it from the start.
Don't know what you're talking about, Brian.
I don't know what I'm talking about either. That's why. Free kick going to Blake for Gisborne, who'll chip it across. He has a teammate there in Reaper, the captain, who takes the mark on the grandstand side, chips it around the line, finds Ellings. Ellings then a little chip over the top, finds his teammate there in Spear. Spear now waits for the carry from behind. Good run. Ellings gets on his bike, goes down the line, but it's going too far. Over the back. First should be back there will be Kerno. Close to the line. He knew where he was going. Very, very smart.
Experience.
And he eventually, the umpire, I thought he was going to give him a little, you can't do that. And no, the umpire said, no, give it to me. I'll throw it back in.
70-point margin at Wade Street.
70 points.
Golden Square against Castlemaine. Castlemaine thud back to earth after a couple of good weeks. As we're going to have a stoppage from that ball in, I'd say. But umpire let it go. Conforti did well. Gives it to Walsh. Walsh to Connick. Connick around the body and then goes up the chimney. So does Thornton. Flew high, got his hands on the football but couldn't collect. Who did collect? It was Cassidy. Gives it to Benaki of the Dogs. Short pass along the ground. It's ineffective. And it'll be over the boundary line and will be a ball in across left half forward. Dogs in attack. They trail by 15. It should be only 9, but they got a double whammy a little while ago, the Dragons. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Eels gets it down in front of Hosking, taps it out towards Lakey. Picking it up was Nelly, and he was quickly tackled there by Lakey and brought to ground. Umpire said, no, give it to me and I'll ball it up. Ball thrown in the air. Hosking gets it down this time. Tackled and brought to ground was Stagg, but no free kick. Ball still wobbling around. Picked up there nicely by Walsh. Got it out now eventually. It's going to be held up at half forward. And the umpire is going to ball it up. And I think Eels and Hoskings will set themselves again for another ruck duel.
Hosking wins it. Taps it to Walsh. Walsh held without the footy and will get a free kick. He played for it, but it was always there. It was a little bit Kevin Bartlett-like. Someone's been Stagg's been dropped off the ball as the kick goes to Connick on the wing. Stagg looks a little bit, dazed. Down the line to half forward. It'll be tracked by Palprat. Picks it up now. Round the body. He'll put it into the pocket. 1-on-1. Connick eases himself in front of Vescovi, the Dogs, but the ball floated towards the boundary line. Just bounced inside. Ball in. Dragons in attack. 15 around from goal. In the pocket. They lead by 15. 22 minutes gone. Second term. Footy Fresh has Bendigo football.
Yes,
line.
I think Nick Stagg just got winded in that last contest.
Ball thrown in. Monk there. Good punch away. Who's going to be first at it? Will be the Dragons. Bobbled out. Good tackle. Lakey brought to ground. Ended up with the ball. Well, that was a great smother from Spear, who was about to, it might have been Cassidy, who was about to give it a kick away and coming across and getting it out. Staggs is really just up the ante at the moment, and, he's copping plenty from his opposition players.
And he's walking the walk and talking it as well, Stagg, against some pretty good opposition, as you said, against Benaki. Connick wins the football. Over the top to Monk on the left, goalward. Minor score, Dragons. Build-up was good. It increased the lead to 16 points. 23 minutes gone. Second term, Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Cassidy from fullback. What can they do, the Dogs? He'll chip it short. Finds a teammate in Benaki. He'll go out wide. Find a teammate on the outer side for Scovey. He'll go down the line. He finds Reaper. They chip it out. They get outside their defensive 50 now. They work down the outer side. They go to centre wing. Big pack forms. Nelly in front. Couldn't take the mark. Niall picked it up off the ground. Had a bit of time, then got smothered. Ended up there with Graham from the Dogs. He got quickly tackled and brought to ground. Umpire said, give it to me. And I'll ball it up on the outer side, centre wing of the QEO. We've played 23 and a half here. It is 31 plays 15. The Dragons in front in the second quarter.
Up they go. Blake wins it on this occasion. Goes towards the boundary line. Lakey getting involved for the Dogs to Benaki. Benaki by hand or fumbling footy. They need to be careful here. Dogs coming through the middle or they'll cough it up again. Spear finds Allings. The old 1-2. And getting involved was Lord. Lord puts it on the left. Good work, Walsh. Wins the contest, then overran the footy. It was a cruel bounce. Ducking his head was Finer of the Dogs. They win possession, however. Short pass, Eels. He's a long way from home. He goes to a hard lead. Danahy marks it. Juggling mark, 1-on-1. Shot at goal. And distance. He's close enough if he's good enough, Norm.
Yes, he's about the same distance he was at the other end of the ground in the first quarter. Once again, an excellent lead by Zach Danahy. He asked the ball out in front and Eels put it there and he made no mistake with a lovely grab.
Nick Stagg is absolutely cooked and so he should be. How good has he been? Not over yet. Not even half time. His side leads by 16. But it's now with the Dogs. Danahy, poor kick, wide. Lucky not to go out of bounds on the full. Minor score, Kerno will kick it in. 15-point margin.
Well, Dragons have lifted the intensity. Dogs have got to be able to go with them at this stage. Kerno from fullback. He'll stop, prop, and goes out wide and finds Nelly, who can play on quickly. He can chip it over the top. Oh, reading it really well, but it's been just couldn't quite get hold of it. Was the Dogs' defence, and that was Shapano. He saw that Nelly was going to go short and then left his direct opponent and was able to infect the contest and was able to knock it over the line. Good work by Blake. Gave it off to Lakey. They went 1-2. Running Merritt on the left, and he's put it through. The Dogs get one from the pack and from the stoppage, and Merritt running straight through the pack, got the receive handball, and on his left boot put it straight through the middle for another goal. Their third of the afternoon to the Dogs. They go to 3-3-21. They trail the Dragons 4-7. 31, 26 and a half gone here in the second quarter. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
And that actually was Weber. I'd just been looking around for him on the ground. Yeah, the orange boots. Excellent football from him. Great work from Big Blake in the scrimmage on ground level. Got a nice handball out. And I've just been looking around. Webber hadn't been on the ground for some time, comes back and makes an immediate impression.
You did call it well, though, Brian. I'll give you that. As from the stoppage now.
I could make a mistake.
Conforti wins it eventually. Then he goes inside forward 50. Monk overruns it. Offering support at the back of the pack is right. By hand gives it to Pelprat. It's worked outside 50. Now it's Collins again. Dancing a dance as he always does, but it's a left footer and it's ineffective. It's a turnover to Cassidy. Cassidy of the Dogs will send it to the outer side wing to Lakey. Lakey now inboard, looking to build. It will be another turnover. Coughlin getting involved. He burst his way through the pack. Kick smothered. Well done, Dogs. Getting involved is Finer, who come into the side this afternoon. Now another turnover. Wharton to Smith. They'll go forward. Conforti from 49 goes goalward and will come off hands. In fact, it might have hit the post. It did. Minor score. Exciting footy. 32 playing 21. Dragons lead. Red time, second quarter. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
They go quickly, the Dogs. They end up on the outer side. In the hands now, I think it is Merritt, is it? Goes wide, finds the run and Cassidy. Cassidy goes down the line, and a good strong mark from behind was Luxmore, who took the mark on the outer side, half forward. They're moving it from one end to the other. They go inside forward 50, but good work, Nelly. He just read the ball very, very well. Had Carraher all by himself. Couldn't quite get there. Good work, young fella. He was able to bounce off the tackle, kick it forward. Inside forward 50. Monk goes quickly. Gets the handball off. Had Paul Wilkinson in control. Inside looking for Thornton. Couldn't take it. Running onto it was right. Couldn't get a boot to it. Ball at ground level. Ball stacks on the mill. And eventually, I think it's going to be balled up as the umpire crosses the arms and says, give it to me, and I'll ball it up about 15 metres out from the Dragons' goal. 28 and a half gone here. It's 32 plays 21. Dragons lead deep into attack.
11-point margin. Socket out of the air by Collins. He got a fair piece of it, but it just wasn't straight.
World Cup type.
It was, but geez, he nailed it. It just, it went 30 metres, but it went goalward and then slewed to the side and goes out of bounds for a ball in. 10 metres around from goal.
Oh, these are unbelievable. This Sandhurst, the Dragons just looking after us unbelievably.
It's like Christmas lunch here. I'm going to need a snooze at half time. As the ball's camped inside forward 50. Dragons in attack, looking to get another one on the board before half time. Stoppage.
Hurry up, half time. I've got cakes and chocolate.
35 out from goal. 11-point margin. Dragons lead. Eels wins it for the Dogs. And they've got numbers. Series of handballs. They're at the top of the square. They need to be careful. It's a hurry kick by Benaki beyond 50. It's a foot race. Jake McLean of the Dragons wins it. Handball to Curnow. He fumbles. McLean backed it up. Then goes to the back door to Paul Pratt. That's a poor kick. Puts Wilkinson under pressure. He gets chicken winged. And his head put into the ground, unlucky not to get a free kick.
I don't think that was actually a sling tackle. It was just he stopped dead in his pace. He was going full bore and he just had to stop dead.
It was the chicken wing, I think, Norm. 11-point margin, Dragons lead.
Off the pack. Connick got it. Got a quick kick away. Who's going to be first there? Will be Wilkinson. Couldn't quite get it. Paul Pratt picked it up, though. Banged it on the boot. Put it inside forward 50. Collins leading. Did he mark it? No. Hit the ground. Ball at ground level now. Working well with Spears. He's under pressure. Eventually, umpire says, no, give it to me. It was Cassidy. And it will be halftime here at the QEO, the home of country footy, where we see the Dragons 4-8-32 lead Gisborne 3-3-21.
Let's go around the grounds and have a look and just take a little bit of a breath while we compose ourselves, because I'll tell you one thing for sure, the intensity in this game really rocketed in that second.
Well, ball about to be started and thrown in the air for the third quarter here at the QEO, where we see a 10-point margin, and the intensity probably just rose a little bit. Dragons about to see if they can run over the top of the Dogs, or can the Dogs get themselves back in. Blake wins the tap, gets it down. Lakey runs towards it. Benaki can't pick it up. Lakey does. Gives it off. Gives a nice handball to his teammate in Lord. He goes inside forward 50. Ball to ground level. Picking it up nicely. Gave it off to Merritt. He gave it off to a teammate running inside, and they were able to hit a target on the outer side. And they'll come inside. Play on. Kicks long. Top of the square. Dragons standing underneath it. Curnow takes an easy grab on the last line of defence and chips it out wide.
Short pass to McLean. McLean handballs forward to Nelly. Now they're beyond defensive 50. Dragons down the outer side wing. They'll set themselves. Contest forms. Ground level. They've got the numbers. Doing well was right. By hand for the Dragons. Gives it to Jake McLean. McLean goes long, looking for Collins. Might have got one over the shoulder. Umpire didn't agree. It was Paul Pratt swooped on the footy that was roved as it bounced. And then he went goalward and kicked it out of bounds on the full, hard up against the point post. And it'll be a free kick to the skipper, Jack Reaper of the Dogs.
Reaper has a couple of options on the switching side. Decides the umpire made him go all the way back. He does chip it out now. Finds a teammate in Spear. Chips it over the top. Finds Vescovi. Now they just bang it on the boot. Send it down wide. Cut off though. Coghlan. Give it off to Connick. Connick gave off a teammate. Now they run. It was Stagg. Tried the check side around the corner.
And
Did he kick it? He has. And Stagg gets another one for the Dragons. I think that's his third. Well, 3 because he got an easy one there before. And he was able to get the double whammy. And now kicks his third of the afternoon. The Dragons take a 16-point lead into this quarter. They go to 5-8-38. They lead Gisborne 3-4-22. We've played just on 2 minutes. Oh, Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Yeah, and that was good work by the Sandhurst forwards then. They shut the ground down. Gisborne looked as though they were out and about, but Sandhurst were able to shut the ground down, make it a contest, and Stagg on the end of a couple of handballs made the most of it.
Back in the middle they go. Blake wins it. Grabbed it out of the air, then bangs it shallow inside forward 50. Walsh intercepts for the Dragons though. Off half-back, hurry kick, down the line, looking for Pelprat. One-on-one contest. Spear is for the Dogs. They both overrun the footy, then the cavalry arrives and dive on the footy. And we'll have a stoppage left half forward for the Dogs. It'll be a ball up. 38, playing 22. Dragons lead. Opening stage's third term. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Blake's been very good in the ruck. Probably nearly their best player. As Hosking, though, just wins this one. Handballs it out. Can't give it to anybody. Lakey gave the long one to Merritt. Merritt was taken off the ball. Dropping it there was Gisborne. I think it might have been, I'm not quite sure, Bretherington maybe. Kicking inside forward 50. Oh, Reaper, big punch from behind. Running hard, Lakey. Good work. Picks it up. Goes line, chips it out wide. Now comes down the wing. Chips and hits Merritt. Merritt then has the run from behind. Bernanke, little chip, turnover. And standing in front was Noah Walsh, who takes the mark on centre wing. He'll just hold it up and wait for the cavalry to arrive. He decides to go all the way back to Nelly on half back.
Nelly will go corridor. He's coughed it up. Now they're in trouble. Merritt, he's got Dennehy running side by side. He gets collared. They have marked it up here, the Dogs. Well, the handball floated to Dennehy. It wasn't good. Rough now with the Dragons. He has to bring it back and we'll start again. Rough, laterally by foot to Noah Walsh. Defensive arc of 50. Short pass, Jake McLean receives. Right in front of us, broadcast side. Left half-back, hard up against the boundary. Short pass forward. Conforti receives. Marks in front of his eyes. Man on the mark stands just forward of centre wing for the Dogs. Conforti, short pass, bullet ball, hits right. Right now will turn and go on centre wing. He's got a player over the back. It's nice. It might be Walsh. Walsh, he's cold as well. Good, strong tackling, Dogs. They'll be rewarded with a free kick. Tried to do too much as well there, Noah Walsh. He's been pretty good this afternoon. Now it's Braden Blake with a foot. He sends it out of side.
Good tackle by the big man. Chips it out wide. Had the run and now the carry from Allings. He then had to stop. Prop had to go all the way back. Went back. Gave it back to his teammate. Now they step inside. A little chip and hits the target up. Now on centre wing on the outer side, the Bulldogs. And again, they wait for Allings. Went past. Ignored. They hold it up. Now play on. He's looking for the person in the centre of the ground. Good chip and finds Spear. He holds it up. Has it one down the line. Can he get there? He does. And finds his target in Eels. He chips it out wide now and finds a teammate in him there in Shapano. He chipped in, couldn't hit a target off the pack over the line, out of bounds in front of Graham. And it'll be a throw in the forward pocket on the grandstand side of the QEO.
16-point margin. Dragons lead. Early stages, third term. Dogs are still in this contest. They just probably need to have a bit of a purple patch and just tighten up the margin. It was a poor throw-in. It'll be the Dragons that win from it. Smith went over the top to Wilkinson. Wilkinson tried to go to Connick. Connick gets tackled on his defensive arc of 50 for the Dragons and will have a stoppage. Ball up. As we've got Hood, Lockie Hood for the Dragons, comes past us with 2 crutches, looks up. Well, he's despondent, wasn't he? He had that look on his face. No good at this time of the year.
On as well, so.
No good at this time of the year. Bursting through the pack. It'll be the Dogs through Webber. Webber to the top of the square. Hard in attack they are. Good work, Curnow. Handball was too severe, looking for rough. And also he had Wilkinson running shotgun, and they just managed to kill it, minor score. Dragons lead 38-23 Gisborne. 7 minutes gone, third term. Footy fresh. It's Bendigo Football Live.
Curnow from fullback. Just directing traffic. Just strolls outside his square. Chips it all short. Finds a teammate in McLean. Plays on quickly. Goes on the right boot. Goes to centre wing. Big pack over the back. Paul Pratt. Spear there. Tracking him down. Paul Pratt holds it up, but boundary line a little too close. And he rolls over it, and it will be a throw-in on centre wing on the outer side.
And if you boys are wondering who 57 is, I think that's Monk, has changed his jumper from 40 to 57.
So umpire throws it in. Outer side. Blake wins the tap for the Dogs. Lakey was running well beside Webber. They were sharing it and getting involved with the footy to half forward. Might be a hold off the footy. Umpire didn't agree. Spear pleads his case. But it'll be now the Dragons. Curnow gives it to Cooper Smith. He'll kick it down the line. Looks for Matty Wilkinson. Can't find him. Comes off hands. And at right half forward for the Dogs. We'll have the ball in.
Monk who's...
It's not Monk?
No, definitely not Monk, because 57 is Nile, Jack Nile.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry, yeah.
You're mucking me up, Normie.
Oh, sorry about that, boys.
Ball thrown in, outer side. Blake, Hosking. Hosking just pushed him out of the road. Didn't quite get hold of the ball now. But from the pack, Benaki gave it back. 1-2, ended up with Lakey. He runs across the face of goal. Kicks it long and wide. Eels the target. Bouncing ball. Well done, though, by... there was Wilkinson. It was Zach McLean. Inside forward 50 coming out. Webber couldn't take the mark. Dropped probably what he should have taken. Ball at ground level. Stucks on the mill. Umpire says, no, give it to me. I'll ball it up. Right to about 50. Right on the arc of 50. Just inside. Dragons into attack down the Barnard Street end.
Darkening skies. Black clouds just above us. Lakey tries to make a path for the Dogs, gets tackled. Umpire let play go on. Paul Pratt, a fresh airy. Ball spills now. There's still only 35 out from goal. Desperation by the Dogs. Hurried kick out of the pack. Spots up a player in Webber. In fact, they both got the orange boots on in Cassidy. They go to half back, but Curnow's there. Launches the ball. Goes to the top of the square. Comes off hands. It tumbles towards the goal line. They need to put it through here. Bit of soccer work by Collins. He just shuffled it between one foot and the other like a true soccer player, and then waited for it to open it. The opportunity didn't come, but boy, oh boy, the intent was there. That's the second soccer player he's had, Brian.
Yeah, he's been watching a bit of World Cup. I think he's got the Matildas on his mind for tonight, and he's playing a little bit of soccer at the moment. As Cassidy will bring it in from fullback and go out wide. He finds Ellings. No, and he'll take the mark on the outer side. He just holds it up. He'll come down the grandstand wing. Big kick, long. Hosking's going to get there. Big punch from behind. Ball front and square. Good work, though, by the Dogs. Little toe poke through. Bouncing ball. Hitting it now is Thomas. Couldn't quite get it. Ball still bouncing out. He picked it up. Went a long handball back inside. Found his teammate in Blake. They whip it around, ends up with Ellings, a little short chip, play on, no, Lord, went inside, found Benaki. They build from centre wing, big kick inside, Curnow going back, got a little touch in the ball, well done, Merritt, check side, oh no, had an open goal, could have put it through, tried the little grubber along the ground, has put it through on the wrong side of the stick for a minor score. 3-6-24, the Dogs, they trail the Dragons, 5-9-39, 10 gone in this third quarter.
Walsh played on from fullback for the Dragons, gave it to Cooper Smith, and Walsh ran, and he ran again. So he received 2 handballs from the kick in. Walsh has run to the wing, now kicks it to half forward. It was a poor kick. He's going to turn that over, and he kicked it to Reaper. Reaper He turned it over as well and kicked it straight to Stagg, who's on the wing for the Dragons. And thanks to Rick Townsend out there at South Bendigo's home ground. Harry Trott, South Bendigo 9-7-61 lead, Maryborough 6-3-39.
Paul Pratt went inside forward 50. Big Pack Collins first there. Another little soccer. He's got soccer on the mind, Collins, at the moment. Couldn't quite get it to himself. And he chipped it out in front of his opponent. And it's been forced over the line out of bounds for a throw in about 25 metres around from the Dragons' goal. Deep into attack for the Dragons. We've played 11 minutes in this third quarter. It is 39 plays 24, 15-point lead to the Dragons. Two ruckmen set themselves. Blake gets in front. Little chip off the pack now. The Dogs, the little chip out of there towards the boundary line as we see it over Conforti and his opponent. They take it to the line and it'll be thrown in about 50 metres around from the Dragons' goal.
Getting ugly out at Kangaroo Flat, Dow Park. I'll bring you that score in just a minute. But it's not good if you're a Kangaroo supporter. As the ball is thrown in, Sandhurst attack. Blake did well, but then just backed up his own ball was Hosking. He tried a secondary tap that just didn't quite come off. Then he goes in and wins his own ball. Handballs it to Jake McLean. They've got numbers. On the end of it now is Smith. Cooper Smith will go long to the goal line. They'll set themselves. Jack Reaper did well for the Dogs, and he intercepts the footy. Out at Dow Park, Kangaroo Flat trail by 103 points.
Manaki went out wide, found Lakey on the outer side. Now they'll switch it back across, back to Reaper. Reaper then had a teammate in support in Spear. Spear takes it now, runs to the grandstand side. Good kick over the top, found Lord, who's been tracking the Conforti over. Inside finds Webber. Webber on that left boot. Goes out wide. He'll find Graham. Oh, dropped probably what he should have taken. Now under pressure. Had to stop. Prop. Got around Wharton. Kicked back inside. Turnover. Rough off the pack. Needs to get rid of it. Did. Kicked it inside. Collins turned his blow. His opponent inside out. Get back. Has to pick it up. Can't do it. Good work by Reaper. Left his opponent. Handballed it off to Graham. And Graham will relieve the pressure to the outer side. But it's turnover. It was Smith. Back to Wharton. Wharton then chipped it inside. Back to Collins. Getting tracked inside there was Cassidy on his tail. Eventually over the line out of bounds for a throw-in in the outer side pool pocket here at the Barnard Street end of the QEO. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
And Matt Cassidy's done a great job on Andy Collins today, yet to hit the scoreboard. Andy Collins is absolutely sucking in the big ones. He had 3 contests in a row, and now he's gone to the teeth of gold. He's got 2 on him, as it will be the Dogs that relieve out of the back zone. Kick comes to Graham, who marks on defensive arc of 50. Swimming pool side. He's at the Barnard Street end. Directs traffic. Now he goes long. Down the line. They'll set themselves. Comes to the front of the pack. Lakey received. Danahy getting involved. On the end of a handball now. Just shrugs his shoulders. Gets around. Looks to come inboard. In fact, he goes backwards in order to come forward. Poor kick. Coughed it up. Kicked it straight to the Dragons and Carraher.
Carraher, give it off. He gave it to Nelly. They went inside forward 50. Bouncing ball. Good work, though, by the big man in Monk. Couldn't quite control it, though. Reaper there. Good hands. Gives it off to Cassidy. He gets smothered. Oh, good work by Stagg. And now, can he take it and make them pay? Comes back. Looks inside. How can he hit a target? He does. Very, very good kick and a very good lead by Wilkinson, is it? It is. Matthew Wilkinson will take the mark. 35 metres out directly in front. And the kick was superb. The smother, the follow-up, and then to be able to hit the target and the lead was exceptional straight out the ground. Comes in, Wilkinson, to rack up his first of the afternoon. Matty Wilkinson kicks true and straight and through the middle for their 6th. They go through for another one. That's their 7th of the afternoon here at the QEO. And Matty Wilkinson, 6:09:45. They lead Gisborne 3-6-24. 15 minutes gone. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
And that's good work by the Sandhurst defence then. Gisborne had pushed up the ground. Sandhurst pushed up with them, but Curnow stayed back. Dennehy saw when he got the ball, swung onto his left. Curnow, the only player down there, had to go back onto his right. The pinpoint pass into the corridor wasn't good enough. and Stagg from the oncoming kick made the most.
Collins coming off for a rest, Andy Collins, as we're back into the middle, and Hosking wins the tap to Carraher. Carraher of the Dragons flings it forward. Cooper Smith swooped on the footy and will send it to the top of the square, working his way underneath the footy. The Dogs did well. The Big Eels, it looks like, playing back there. He goes short, finds Shapano. Shapano on defensive 50. He's got a player running side by side in Cassidy. Cassidy now kicks it to the wing, comes to the back of the pack. Jake Wilkinson tried to collect and couldn't. Comes over the boundary line. Ball in. True centre wing. 45 playing 24. Dragons lead. 16 minutes gone. Third term. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Hoskin and Eels. Centre wing. Grandstand side of the QEO. Ball thrown back in. Hoskin just punches it down. Lakey's going to be first there. Gives it off to a teammate in Lordy. Chips it around. Good sliding mark by Dennehy. Takes a good strong mark. Still on half forward. Looks back in. Goes towards the corridor. Down the line. Big pack forms. Kerno did well. Over the back. Nally just made sure. And over the line. Out of bounds for a throw in. 15 metres over. Around from the Gisborne goal. 17 minutes gone. It's 45 plays. 24 here in the third quarter of the big game between Sandhurst and Gisborne at the QEO.
Umpire will throw it in. Luxmore's been quiet too, Norm.
Since quarter time, barely had a touch, yes.
Yeah, we saw him down at Gisborne really take a hold of the game. Wing it out of the ruck would be Hosking, the big ruckman for the Dragons, puts it to the wing. Jake McLean wins it, and then didn't really look when he kicked it. Kicked it to Jack Reaper of the Dogs. Now he'll spread wide. Fine spear. The vice skipper. Awkward looking kick will be effective to Allings. Allings on the outer side wing. Just holds up the footy. Short pass to Lakey. It was at his ankles. He was good enough. Then he picked it up, gave it to Allings by hand, and then got it back. They're sharing it round and round in circles here, the Dogs. Eventually they'll come inboard and hits up Normington.
Normington takes it in the centre of the ground. He looks down long and wide, just getting out there. Good strong mark going back was Vescovi. He took a good strong mark just inside the arc of 50. Collins just couldn't get back enough to affect the pass, and Vescovi will take a mark and a kick at goal for their first in quite some time. Smith's been good, along with Wharton has still been good. Coughlin, James, probably a little bit quieter in that second quarter, but Vescovi now looking to get it. He's put it off the edge of the boot, is snuck in for a minor score, and that will take him on to 3-7-25. They trail Santa 6-9-45. 18 and a half gone third quarter here at the QEO. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live. 20-point
margin, Dragons lead. Kerno points towards us in the commentary box and then kicks it straight to us. Boy, he's got a piece of it. Looks for Thornton. Thornton front position. Juggling ball, claims it. Now come off hands. He was good enough to give it to Stagg by hand. By hand further afield to Paul Pratt. Awkward left. Down the wing. Poor kick. Coughed it up. And he kicked it straight to Bretherton. Short pass, that was a Jimmy Cracker kick, wasn't it?
It looked like it, yes.
Thumped it on the boot almost. They're looking to move it. It's Vescovi will go in the middle, and he spots up Cassidy.
Goes long, cut off. Connick read it like a book, takes it, has a long one over the top to Monk. Monk then runs on, gives it back. Now he can run into an open goal. Easy goal, the Dragons, and Connick kicks his first. Well, it was Lux of Fortune, read it like a packet, and he put it through for their seventh. 7-9-51 to 3-7-25 here on the scoreboard. 19 minutes gone here at the QEO.
Yes, good work from Caleb Connick there. He left his opponent, ran forward. There was two Gisborne players looking to take a mark from a chip kick. He took the mark on the chest, kept running. Nice handball over to Monk. Monk was able to control it, get the ball back to Connick, and Connick strolled into an open goal and just rolled it through. Excellent effort, excellent running, great work from Sandhurst, who had used the full ground press when Gisborne attacked the last time, had nobody there in their half of the ground.
I thought Connick was almost going to look to give it back as well. That would have been just the epitome of being unselfish, as Hosking wins it out of the middle and then kicked it straight to half forward and kicked it straight to Jack Reaper of the Dogs. Short pass, it's effective. Reaper's done a similar job to what Curnow down the other end, hasn't he?
He's done it better today so far. He's had 12, Curnow's had 9.
Ball kicked off the pack, got over the back. Nelly were at its best for the Dragons. Little Chip found Monk running out and took a good strong mark. Now got on the left boot, chips it up. Looking for Collins, couldn't get it right. Lockie right, front and square, couldn't quite get there. Bouncing ball, stepped around a man and put another one through. The Dragons have had 2 in a minute, and that has opened it right up. They get their 8th of the afternoon, and the man in Lockie Wright gets his first for the Dragons. That takes them on to 8 goals, 9.57. They lead Gisborne 3-7-25, 21 minutes gone, third quarter.
Yes, once again, it was excellent work by not Thomas Dano, Spear down back, knocked the ball to ground, but it was the Sandhurst were the only runners, and to his credit, Lockie Wright was able to get past 2 opponents and then missed the first shot at goal, picked it up and snapped it around the corner.
Restart in the middle. Umpire Snell balls it up. Up they go. Blake wins it on this occasion. Benaki tries to make a path and he couldn't. Sandhurst doing really well in the tough stakes. Blake, he did well. He won the footy. Then he spreads it wide to Finer. Finer gets tackled by Carraher. Support by Wharton. He did well. He was at ground level. Benaki now, right half forward. Good, strong tackling. It was by the Dragons as well by Carraher. Geez, he's a little angry little man in the last minute or so, isn't he? And right half forward, we'll have a ball up.
Ball thrown up. Blake wins it down. Coming through was his opponent, but wasn't able to get it. Then a handball. Not a real good one by McLean. Couldn't hit the target. Or Cassidy, was it? Got a really high tackle.
It was there.
It was Weber, actually. Played on quickly. Gets up on that left boot. He likes that left boot. Goes inside forward 50. Good work coming out and taking a good strong mark was Luxmore for the Dogs. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal. And umpire just pulls Jack Nile back just a fraction. And Jake, I should say. And he'll have a shot from about 45 metres out in front. As a couple of old legends down in front of us, Mark Ellis and Dennis O'Hare, having a little bit of a banter. As Luxmore comes in, crosses the line, kicks it from 48 metres, but he's pulled it, trying to get the distance and through for a minor score, 3-8-26. The Dogs, 8-9-57. The Dragons, as they bring it in quickly, Curnow gets the 1-2 away from Wharton.
Gives it to Wright by hand. Wright, short pass over the top, poor kick. Intercept by Danahy. Zach Danahy now. Way too far out to score. Looks to go corridor. Short pass was effective. Spotted up Weber. Weber's been good this afternoon. Curnow gets upended by Danahy. Now goes inside forward 50. They'll set themselves. Oh, trying to claim a mark. It wasn't there. Was Lord. Whistle now.
He's got a free for in the back.
It was there. He just dived in. Just put a little bit too much pressure on him, Normie.
He did at that. The tackler there was young Nelly, and just pushed him in the back. Could have been claimed as a mark to Lord. He had front grab at the front of the pack and then next grab at the side of the pack, but he was able to entice the free kick.
Lord needs to kick this. If there any chance at all, you would think, going into three-quarter time, just to give them a little bit of momentum. Left foot is poor. Lucky to score. Almost out of bounds on the full. No, snuck in. Minor one. Well, that takes it to a 19-point margin. We're in the depths of three quarters here. Footy fresh as Bendigo Footy Live.
Oh, good kick, Curnow. Out wide, found a teammate, and they were able to go down the wing. Good, strong mark again. Connick again. Chips it over the top, had the run from 40, had to stop, got back on that left boot, just checked the kick, found Thornton inside, coast-to-coast footy for the Dragons, and they'll line up, and these are the ones that make you pay. From one end of the ground, having a shot on goal, miss it, and it goes all the way down the other end. And the big full forward, Bear Thornton, will have a shot at goal from about 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. He comes in, checks it, gets up and under it, goal umpire watches it as it hits the top of the post and through for a minor score. 8-10-58. The Dragons, 3-9-27, 25 and a half minutes gone in this third quarter.
Dogs did muck around bringing in into play. It's on half back now with Blake. Blake will go to the back door. Short pass. It's okay. He spots up Weber. Weber goes inboard into the middle. They're running now. Lakey received on the end of one. He's got a player breaking for him in Thomas. Harry Thomas now, right half forward of the Dogs, looking to get one before three-quarter time. Stop mucking around. Goes inboard. Corridor. Oh, Conforti. Didn't give away 50.
Just checked it, didn't he?
He did.
It actually should be 50 now because the Sandhurst player had the ball and just left it on the ground.
Weber with the footy. He's halfway between the centre and half forward. Twirls the football, then goes wide. Hasn't gained meterage. So they've got possession here, the Dogs. They'll look to work it, and it's a good, strong mark by Burke, who he's too far out to score, I'd say. He's on the outer side, near the scoreboard. He's directing traffic. There'll be a ripping kick if he makes it. He can't. Lord offers a deal, a lead. He accepts. Then he goes short past Corridor. They're over-possessing now. They're going to muck it up. Lucky to get away with a stoppage, which it is. 35 out directly in front. Dogs attack. They trail 27 to 58. And we've gone almost 27 third term. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Thrown in the air. Monk got the tap down. Coming out of there was Lord. Couldn't hit a target. Lakey couldn't grab it. Stagg picked it up. Gave a little handball to McLean. He was able to get just a toe poke forward. Lakey got back in there. Got the hands out. Driving his head through was the Bulldogs player who couldn't quite come through the pack. It was, who was that? Chapano, who... dove his head in, but the umpire said, no, you've ducked into it, son, and it wasn't a free kick throw up. It's going to be a free kick, though, this time, and it's going to go to Monk for the Dragons here, right at the back end of the square, and get the Dragons into attack again.
Monk, he's been okay, Norm.
He has been really good, hasn't he?
He's a big fella. He's a big man, a big young man. He's got an awkward-looking left on him, but he gives it a workout. He sends it to the outer side wing. Ground level, Paul Pratt trying to get involved. Good, strong tackling. Chapano of the Dogs ties him up. And halfway, we're on right half forward for the Dragons. As the Dragons have got that, they do it in the AFL. They've got the sign up, which probably either says 1 minute or 2 minutes remaining.
Blake got the tap down. Carraher got tackled, brought to ground. Umpire crosses the arms. It might have been 30 seconds.
Might have been.
As we go into three-quarter time here at the QEO. It's the Dragons, 8-10-58. They lead Gisborne 3-9-27 here at the QEO in the third quarter at three-quarter time. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Let's have a look at other scores.
Again, Kerno Downbark is he's so hard to get past. He always is in the right spot, doing the right things. And I thought young Connick on the outer wing was absolutely sensational.
How's that? The siren sounded and the game's underway. And
they're still trying to come off the ground.
They are. There's people on the ground.
As the Dragons go inside forward 50, it was Cooper Smith. Front and square was right, but he was tackled. Vescovi bringing him down. Ball spills out. Cassidy there. Eventually, that was very deliberate. And I have seen a few paid around.
Yes,
lately.
there has
we
been.
have in recent times, yes.
That one was probably one of the most blatant ones I've seen for quite some time, but it will be a ball in about 15 metres around from the Dragons' goal, where we see it is 58 plays 27 at, 1/2 minute into this final quarter.
I don't think I've seen that in a major league where the crowd's still on the ground. Probably the umpire's got a duty of care to check it out. As Conforti, he intercepted a kick that was errant.
He might have a party on tonight, needs to get going.
Short pass, finds Smith. Smith handballs to Conforti. He's at 52. He can't find a space, so he decides to go wide. He kicked it to space and there's no one there. It's all with the Dogs, and it's Luxmore. Gives it to a teammate who comes inboard was Vescovi. They work it to the wing, but they look like they're going to win it back now through Conforti. He wasn't happy with himself with that last kick, and he ran over there at speed. Getting involved in the contest again. Dribbles it along the ground. He's kicked it to space again. Who's he got there? Coughlin. Coughlin gets collared under the ear. Umpire lets it go. Stoppage. Ball up. 70 from home. Dragons attack 58, playing 27. They lead early stages. Fourth term, the final term here at the QEO. And we're in round 16 with the finals just around the corner.
Hosking off the pack, gets it onto that left boot, puts it inside forward 50, bouncing ball, top of the square. Thornton tapped it, bang, round. Collins front and square, kicked it over his shoulder, but again, Standing in the last line of defence was the big man in Ripper. Took the mark. The umpire said play on, so he did. He just handballed it through for a minor score. 8:11:59, 3:9:27. We played 2 minutes. Final quarter here at the QEO.
Dogs will bring it in from fullback again. They kick it long this time. Noah Walsh stands his ground. Got a lot of the footy. Tried to claim the mark. Unlucky not to get it. But he's good. He wins it at ground level. Gives it to Conforti. That was a little bit too cute, but they've got the numbers to get away with it. Now Collins handballs inside forward 50. Merritt swoops on it for the Dogs and will relieve the pressure off halfback.
Chips it over the top. Finds a player in, who was there but couldn't take it in Thomas. And he punched it over the line, out of bounds for a throw-in on half forward on the outer side here at the QEO. Ruckman set themselves. Blake's been very good. Been impressed with him today. He has not let Hoskin away. He takes it out of the ruck this time and beats him again. Punches it onto the boot. Goes towards Walsh and Merritt. Walsh just a little tap across to Paul Pratt, but he's put under pressure by Lakey. And eventually the umpire said, it's not coming out of there. Give it to me and I'll ball it up. Centre wing outer side.
Umpire Baxter throws the ball in the air. Up they go in the ruck. I reckon Blake won it on that occasion. Look for Lakey, but Paul Pratt, he swooped on it for the Dragons. Now he kicks it forward, looking for Coughlin. Coughlin let the ball bounce. Then it bounces to Vescovi. He taps it to the advantage of a teammate who can't pick it up. That was Spear, the vice skipper. Play's allowed to go on. Wilkinson might get one around the neck. He doesn't. And stands up with the footy.
Might be McLean.
McLean, Jesus, but McLean's been good. So has Wilkinson, Jake Wilkinson, as umpire Snell balls it up on 50.
Ball tapped. Well done, Blake. Got it towards Lakey. Lakey picked it up, gave it out to his teammate in Benaki. He gave it off to the run of Weber, who kicked it inside forward 50 or towards forward 50. Front and square, they are the Dogs. They will go inside forward 50. One-on-one contest out the back. Nelly up against his opponent in Chapano. Nelly did well, held it up. Ball at ground level, picked up by her teammate there in Merritt, snapping it around the corner, got to the line, big punch, touched right on the last line of defence and through for a minor score. 3:10:28. They are the Gisborne Dogs. They trail the Dragons, 8:11:59, 4.5 gone, final quarter.
Curnow, he pointed towards the swimming pool side from the Barnard Street end, then he went the opposite direction, so he was foxing a little bit, excuse me, as he kicks it straight to Noah Walsh. Noah Walsh, short pass back to Curnow, who had run on to defensive 50. Jesus, is important to this side, Curnow. He just directs traffic every time he gets the footy. He intercept marks, and he just shows composure at every level. Curnow now, long, dumps it long, looking for right, couldn't get a run at it. Wilkinson, that was Matty, he did, but making a path was right. He was strong, gave it to Connick. Connick ground level to Cooper. Series of handballs. Ends up Paul Pratt. Paul Pratt banged it on the boot. Probably a fortunate kick, and he kicked it straight to Matty Wilkinson.
Wilkinson plays on quickly. He's got teammate McLean inside forward 50 who takes the mark and then has to get back quick. Has Wright leading. Has Stagg out here. He had, Cooper Smith tried to get past him, but McLean has taken it upon himself to go back to the centre of the ground, and he will kick from 52 metres out.
He couldn't.
He gets all of it. He couldn't. You said what? He could. He's put it through from 51 and banged it through to the Dragons' 10th. Well, 9th, was it? 9-11, I think it is the Dragons as the goal comes up on the scoreboard. But that was a magnificent kick, Normie.
It was, and he had to put it through in the end because he burnt James Coughlin. James Coughlin was in that pocket all on his own, nobody else there. He turned his back on him, he walked back, and to his credit, an excellent kick at goal. He kicked through the football, John. We ask all the players to do it week in and week out. He did it, and that's what can happen.
9-11-65, the Dragons. They lead Gisborne 3-10-28. And Jakey McLean go and take a bow.
In fairness to him, as soon as it came off the boot, you could tell it was going to be a goal.
You said he couldn't.
You said he couldn't. I know, and I'm glad to be proven wrong. They win it again through the middle. Oh, Smith's pulled up with a hamstring.
Yep.
Oh, that's a big injury, Cooper Smith, and it looks like a bad one. He grabbed at it straight away. The classic, as it's a shot at goal by the Dragons. Might be Matty Wilkinson. I was too busy watching the hamstring injury, but boy, that's a big injury at this time of the year. He's an important player. I hate to take the shine off it for the Dragons, who have just kicked another one through Matty Wilkinson. But, Norm, I'll give you the score, and then you can tell me about it. But he's in some serious trouble. As it is 10-11, 10-11-71 to 3-10-28. The game's over, isn't it? And that's unfortunate for a player of his ilk at this time of the season.
Yes, that's right. You're 7 minutes into the last quarter. Excellent passage of play for him. He was in the first passage. He ran through in the second passage, got the ball forward, and as he kicked that ball, he grabbed the back of his right leg, and it's no more, she wrote.
Might be the left one.
Yeah, I think
the left, is it?
And
No,
it's,
it looked as though...
well, there's 21 days. Normally,
Yep.
that's what they say. As Conforti comes on to replace, the ball was thrown up in the middle of the ground, and the umpire said, no, give it back to me. I will throw it up again. Hoskin standing in front of the throw-up. Ball came out. Ellings couldn't take control of it. Went back, got it, got tackled, brought to ground, and eventually umpire will ball it up here as Cooper Smith looks a little dejected, getting late in the season, and well, it's probably 3 weeks, so it might be finals time for him to return as the ball is held up in the middle of the ground again, and the umpire eventually just crosses the arms and says, give it to me and I'll ball it up. Here, as we see, it is 71 play 28, 8 minutes gone, final quarter. Footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
We're in the middle, and it's going to be a stoppage, but as you know, Brian, it's this time of the year because you can't really train with fitness-wise. So you come back in 21 days at a minimum, and you've lost that match-hardened fitness for September. That's what the issue will be.
That's right, and you'll get an extra week because they probably won't play the first week of the finals. So we'll be able to take 28 days and be back for the second semi.
It'll be another stoppage in the middle, and the good thing about it is Sandhurst run deep in the reserves. They have got some running good players that could come up into the side, Han and young Moran, and a number of others. And also they've got Lee Coughlin to come in as Lord wins it for the Dogs through the middle, but it's Noah Walsh, been good this afternoon. Alex Wharton receives a handball, then he turns to go on the right. He'll put it in the direction, good body, Conforti, just too smart, and used his body and takes a mark, and he'll have a shot at goal 40 out.
Yeah, the one thing I've noticed today with the Gisborne side, they're going to have to work on their kicking over the off-season because they're giving the opposition too much of a look at the ball when they're short passing it. We saw it again just then, an intercept mark, and now Conforti has a shot at goal.
So Conforti now, he's a long way from home. He's a good kick of the footy. I'm not going to say he won't.
Oh, the distance won't be a problem for him.
Nah, he's closer. As Conforti goes goalward and missed it for a minor score. Sandhurst go to 10-11-72. Gisborne 3-10-28. 10 minutes gone, final turn.
From fullback, they bring it in quickly. Ellings, the young man from the Dogs, just chips it back. He'll go all the way back to Cassidy. Cassidy goes all the way across and finds Reaper. Reaper then goes down the line, can't hit the target. Ball at ground level. Wharton was going to be in. Conforti there. It's tapped out. Good work. But putting a good tackle on was Collins on his opponent there in Lakey. And eventually the ball will be thrown up on right in front of the scoreboard here at the QEO. Monk, big tap inside. Good work and taking it off there with Shapano. Now they come across the arc of the 50, but it's been cut off. Carraher will take the mark and go back and have a shot on goal.
Yes, that was another poor kick by Gisborne. As I've just finished stating there, they're putting the ball up and leaving it easy for Sandhurst to run onto. Something they'll have to work on over the off-season.
Carraher, 45-degree angle. He'll kick from about 40. Crosses the arc of 50. Gets to within kicking distance. It's gone one way, came back a little, but gone through for a minor score. 10-13-73. The Dragons, they trail, the Gisborne trail 3-10-28. 11 and a half gone in this third quarter.
Yes, and it's each time there's been a point kick by both sides today, both teams have, in general, been quick to get the ball back into play. And that's happened once again this time. There's been a scrimmage at half forward for Sandhurst.
That's where the footy is. It's on half forward. But it'll be the Dogs. They'll win it. They go through Webber to a teammate who'll give it long. We Merritt to half forward. finds Graham. Graham now sets the ball long. He'll go to the top of the square, and it's a mark. It might be Blake that's taken a one-on-one contested mark against Niall. It is. And he'll line them up. He's really close to goal, only a couple of metres out, 45-degree angle, and shouldn't miss, Norm.
He shouldn't miss, and too strong there for Niall. Got front position, and he wasn't going to be moved from there.
Blake, son of Michael, Castlemaine superstar in his day, and Harcourt, as Braden Blake, who's making a name for himself in his own right. Pops it through for the Dogs. They go to 4:10:34. They are trailing 10:11:71. We've gone midway through this final term. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Yes, good work there. First from Merritt, got the ball out, was able to run with it, got it onto Webber, and Webber's kick in found Braden Blake. He had front position, and from there, against a smaller opponent, was able to take an easy chest mark, and had made no mistake with his shot on goal.
Ball back in the middle.
We haven't seen enough of that today for Gisborne since the first quarter.
Heels up against Hoskin. Hoskin gets the tap out, goes towards Stagg. He gets it under the pressure from Lakey, gave the little handball around the corner. Collins got it, gave it off to Coughlin. Coughlin on the left boot, up and under, sits it towards the top of the square. Monk, little hands off, kick around the corner, and it's another one. McLean bangs his second through. One from 51 and one from about 25 out on around the corner. Jakey McLean gets number 2 for him for the day. And the Dragons now start to really put the pressure on. 11-13-79. They lead Gisborne 4-10-34, 13 and a half gone in this final quarter.
Yes, good contesting work there from Monk to a high ball which was bombed into the Sandhurst forward line. He brought it to ground, and Jake McLean was where all good Crummers should be. Front of the pack, was able to swing it around with his right foot, and he made no mistake from 30 metres out.
Back into the middle. Umpire Snell balls it up. Blake wins the tap to Lakey. Lakey of the Dogs gets tackled. Good work, Dragons. Ball spills towards the boundary line. Swooping on it will be Webber of the Dogs, who's been pretty good this afternoon. Will get a free kick. Looks to come and go to half forward. Or just a bit laconically, runs through the middle, gives it to Allings. Allings of the Dogs, short pass, spots up a teammate, Bran Cazziano, who at 48 metres, and he'll kick it from probably 41-ish, 51-ish. Then he's got Allings running on, honors the kick, honours the lead, and he'll have a shot at goal. Probably didn't increase the distance too much, Norm. I don't know if it's, well, it'll be a good kick from there, won't it?
No, I think he decreased the distance, but only by 3 or 4 metres, and a little bit on the angle now, out to 45, where it was straight in front before.
Barnard Street end. No breeze, darkening skies here. It's cloudy. It's been that way all afternoon. Allings of the Dogs. He runs wide, which is an indication he doesn't think he can do it. Kicks it straight into the man in the marker, Wharton. Spills wide, and Stagg clears for the Dragons.
Comes out wide. Thornton the target in front of his opponent there in Reaper, and takes a good strong mark on centre wing. He goes back. Just come on the ground. Thornton then chips it up, has the lead from Monk, who's been very good. I've been impressed with the big fella today. He did the good work up in front of goal there before, bringing the ball front and square. He chips it back, has a teammate all the way back in Noah Walsh. Walsh then goes all the way back across the other side and finds Nelly. He'll go out the other side and find Wharton. Alex Wharton plays on. He chips it down the line, over the top of the pack, looking to try and get it towards Wilkinson. But Lord was able to get a fingertip in there, and off the fingertips over the line, out of bounds for a throw in centre wing on the outer side.
Yes, Harrison Monk's certainly been a good replacement for the injured Maxted today. His work rate is great. He doesn't just play forward, he works up the ground and then he works his way back.
Umpire will throw it in, outer side. Hosking against Blake. Hosking wins it on that occasion, but he gave it straight to Lakey, who handballed on further to Merritt. Merritt short pass, spots up Lord. He's too far out to score. For the Dogs, plays on now. Short pass, inside forward 50. Danahy got a lot of hands on the footy. He's asking for a free kick for too high, but don't worry about that. You just play the footy. It's only 5 metres away in dispute. And as he does that, we've got a stoppage, ball up. 25 metres out, almost directly in front. Dogs attack. Can they get another one on the board? Merritt doing the ruck work for the Dogs. Hurried kick out of the pack goalward. Dennehy getting involved as well. Little handball. Merritt
Yep.
received and laconically put it through for a goal as they get a bit of respectability back into the score. It's still a 39-point margin. Gisborne go to 5-10-40. They trail 11-13-79. We've still got 8 or 9 minutes left in this quarter. And Norm, has percentage got anything to do with Sandhurst, or doesn't it really matter for them?
Percentage doesn't matter to them because they had the draw against Eagle Hawk in round 7 of this season. But that was good work by Sam Graham then. Got the ball in the pack and got a handball out to Merritt. Merritt made no mistake.
Ball back in the middle. Eels up against Hosking. Ball thrown in the air. 2 ruckmen set themselves. Good punch away. Puts it out in front of Stagg. Couldn't quite get there. Lord picked it up. Gave it back to Lakey. He gave it back to Eels. Eels a quick kick around the corner. Bouncing ball. Ellings is going to be first there. Wharton puts the tackle on. Brings him to ground. Umpire says, give it to me and I'll ball it up. Half forward on the grandstand side of the QEO. 11-13-79 the Dragons. 5-10-40. 39 points. 18 minutes gone. Final quarter. Footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Hosking taps it to Noah Walsh, who's near the boundary line. It comes off his hands. Really impressed with Noah Walsh. Seems to be playing up back a lot and rebounding, but every time I see him, just wins a lot of the footy. As the umpire will throw it in. Eels again, Hosking. Hosking wins the tap. Clear winner is Lakey, ground level. For the Dogs, handballs it forward. Got the numbers. Found the teammate in Brand Cazziano. Puts it around the shoulder. Jake Wilkinson did well. Defends, taps it, then runs onto it. Steps over the boundary line as a true defender does. 30 out from the goal that he's defending. We'll have a ball in. 39-point margin. Sandhurst lead. 19 minutes gone last term.
Ruckman set themselves. Merritt will go up again. Hosking, he just gets rid of him and it's going to be a free kick. Got the push, he said. Umpire is not going to let it happen and Merritt will get the free kick. He got himself in front of the big ruckman. He's got the head down in disgust.
Yeah, well, Hosking was trying to signal the umpire that the Gisborne player had his jumper and that's why he pushed him.
Yeah, he tried to break it off. Merritt will go back and have a shot on goal now and just relieve a little bit of pressure here as it is 39. Get it back to 33. He's come in, he's tried to get the distance, pulled it around the corner, over the line, out of bounds on the full, no score. Free kick Dragons, last line of defence, Noah Walsh will take it.
Yes, that's unfortunate for Merritt this quarter because he's done plenty of hard running and a third goal to him would have been just reward.
Short pass forward finds Alex Wharton. Dragons, short pass, receives Curnow in his defensive 50, looking to bring it down broadcast side of the Dragons. He's been good too, Curnow. Short pass, looks and finds, in fact it goes beyond Monk, but Wharton had run up the field, offers support, gives it by hand to Matty Wilkinson. A little bit of a tired handball back to Monk, hands and knees. Wilkinson butters up, good tackling. Umpire, let it go. Spills to Webber of the Dogs, he'll go into the pocket, hard lead. Graham gets a free kick for a push, hard up against the boundary line, 30 out, and he'll line them up.
Yeah, to Gisborne's credit, they haven't given up this game. They've continued to play good attacking football in this last quarter and starting to reap a bit of benefit of the reward now.
Might go around the body from there. He's a fair way from goal. Let's see if he hits it properly. He doesn't. Minor score. Takes it to 41, trailing. Dragons 79. 20 minutes gone, nearly 21. Final term, footy fresh, is Bendigo Football Live.
Yeah. Umpires probably started to pay a couple of little ticky touch ones. They let it go early, didn't they, Norman? Now those couple of ones that we probably yes and no, but they have paid them as Curnow just brings it in, kicks it to Niall and then takes the handball receive and gets it back. Just building his stats. Long over the top. Paul Pratt puts the tackle on. Thornton gave it to Monk. Monk, well, just gave it to Connick. He banged it on the boot, put it inside forward 50. Speed demons need to run. McLean, a little tap over the top to Collins. He stepped around, got on the right boot, snapped it to the top of the goal. Bouncing. Did it get through?
Yes.
It has. Collins has kicked his first of the afternoon, and the Dragons get their 12th. They go to 12-13-85. I'm pretty sure. As, 12, 13, 85. The Bulldogs 5-11, 41 here at the 21, nearly 22-minute mark of the final quarter.
Yes, that just showed us a bit of class from Andrew Collins there. He was hemmed in on the boundary, looked as though he was trapped. Gisborne had done a good job, went one way, went the other, spun around then onto his left foot and went back onto the right in the end, and it made it look easy. Bounced it in the goal square and it went end on end, over and through.
Actually, two big injuries with Hood as well for the Dragons this afternoon, so they haven't come out unscathed as Monk goes into the ruck, taps it, then Conforti wins it, has two bounces, runs to half forward. He'll send it to the top of the goal square. Matty Wilkinson stood there like a 6'4" ruckman, and he's only about my size, and I'm not joking, and then showed some strength one-on-one contest and took a mark. That was superb. That was a big man's mark, wasn't it?
Yeah, for a small man, he certainly was, standing there and just plucking it over the top of his opponent.
Thank God you said pluck then, after what you said earlier, Brian. Something like sit.
Sit down.
Sit down. And Matty Wilkinson, this game, as the fizz has gone out of it, as Matty Wilkinson should celebrate that because that was a strong mark. And he's kicked three. Probably an unlikely goal kicker, I would imagine, as extends the lead. 13-13, 91 Dragons. Dogs 5-11, 41, 23 and a half gone. Final term, Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Yes, that all came from Sam Conforti. He was on the end of a centre tap, ran out of the centre square, two bounces, centred the ball to the top of the goal square, and Wilkinson, he had the sit on his Gisborne opponent, was able to jump above him and pluck in a great mark.
Ball back in the middle, Monk hits it down only as far as Webber, who's been pretty good, gives it off to Allings. Allings around the corner for the Dogs, gets it to half forward, bouncing ball. Who's going to be first there? The Dogs will be. Merritt picks it up, gets on that right boot, goes into the swimming pool pocket over the top of Graham, picking it up nicely there and giving it back to Dennehy. He went around the corner, but he's kicked it off the side of the boot, over the line, out of bounds on the full, and it will be a free kick to Tananelli for the Dragons, about 20 metres around from his defensive goal. He'll chip it into the square and find Curnow, who has Wilkinson, who's short. He decides not to go there. He's just pointing and just chips it over the top and finds
Wilkinson,
it's Wilkinson. He's on one end to the other. Chips it out and he finds Nelly again.
Nelly, deep in the back pocket. Swimming pool side, he's at the Barnard Street end. He's looking further afield. Then he decides to go there. They'll set themselves, big pack of players, spills to the front of the pack. Numbers are with, on this occasion, the Dogs. Hurried kick out of the pack, but it'll end up with Jake McLean on half forward. Little handball over the top. Finds Jake Wilkinson. Handballs again. Geez, they're working it nicely through Paul Pratt. Now they're out. Outer side win. Finds Connick. Connick now will go corridor. He's got Jake McLean. Jake McLean lets it bounce. Then he goes over the top by hand. That's Niall. Niall, it's an awkward looking handball. Good enough for Walsh. It bounced to him. Then Walsh, he'll go inside forward 50 shallow. Poor kick. Intercepting mark by Brereton of the Dogs.
Kicked it out wide, but it's been spoilt. Got to the ground. Paul Pratt's first there. Then coming in hard was Ellings. He dived in underneath the ball. Diving in and trying to get it there was Connick, or Ross. Rough, it should have been. Yes, it was. And then held up. And Wilkinson on the last, Paul Pratt, last man up. As the umpire says, I'll ball it up as Eels and Monk. No one really gets the tap down. Eels on the bottom of the ground. The pack tries to rip it out of there. Can't quite get it out. Umpire says, no, give it to me. And I'll ball it up again. Half forward, outer side of the QEO here in the last quarter.
Dragons in attack, but it'll be the Dogs that win it. Series of handballs. Allings on the end of it. Short pass to Merritt. Merritt lets it bounce, then he fumbled. Good enough to tap it forward and win it. Now he'll run to half forward. It's a long kick into the pocket. Bouncing footy goes to the top of the square. In fact, Wharton, Alex gets tripped. Free kick, Dragons.
Yeah, the big man, Blake, just couldn't quite get down low enough, then stuck the boot out just to try and stop him from running past him. Maybe got that lower contact, and Alex Wharton takes the free kick. He looks up the ground, has Monk on the lead, coming out wide. Needs to get under it, did. Stagg off the ball, got tackled, didn't have it. Got it off to his teammate there in Foscovy. He couldn't get it, gave it towards Carraher. He there with Lakey, good work. He was able to get the handball out. Picking it up was Danahy, and he was going to get a free kick. Was it high?
Yeah, high tackle. As he went through, his head was grazed by the Sandhurst player trying to knock the ball away.
Well, as the sun breaks through the clouds, as a little bit of sun just trickles over the QEO in the final quarter, as Danahy comes in, goes long, offline, through for a minor score. And that will take him on to 3 goals, 12-42. Sandhurst 13-13-91, 27 and a half gone final quarter.
Players cramping in the goal square, both sides, as the ball was kicked out into the pocket, and then it ended up with Wharton. Alex Wharton now, short pass to Nile. In fact, it is Nile with the 57.
Yep.
Had me second guessing Nile, even though you went and checked it before the game. As the green sign comes up, which means there's about 2 seconds to go if we base it on what happened in the last quarter for the Sandhurst, as the ball's on the outer side wing.
Kerno just standing there pointing to the sign.
Yeah, he's saying it's all over, she wrote. As the ball goes out of bounds, ball in, 91 playing 42. Dragons lead, 28 and a half minutes, and we've got a sign in front of us. We can't read what it says, but it means that the game's almost over.
Turn that sign around, Porch. Can't get him to do it.
Under a minute, I reckon.
Yeah, I'd say it's a minute to go. Ball thrown in, big pack forms. Umpire crosses the arms and says, give it to me.
Yes, we must be getting close. The quarters today have gone 27, 29 and 28 minutes.
Monk up against Eels. Monk just got rid of his opponent. He's done very well. Put it on the boot. Bouncing ball. Well done, Reaper, but only as far as Conforti. Then on that left boot, puts it inside forward 50. Collins couldn't take it. Now going back, trying to get back towards the back of the ball was Normington. Couldn't hold it in. Danger for the Dogs. Ball now rushed towards the line. Good work. Good pick up there by Brethington. And over the line, out of bounds for a throw in right in front of the scoreboard. 29 and a half gone. Final quarter. It's going to be a Dragons win here. And we'll keep them on top of the ladder for another week in the Bendigo Footy and Netball League.
They might have 2 signs down there, Brian.
One might say 5 minutes.
Well,
yeah, they might. As it's
Tricking us.
Coughlin wins it in the forward pocket, goes around the body, but it's all the Dogs through Reaper, the skipper. Short pass to Lord. Lord, the Bulldogs. Fakes his right, then goes left. Spots up Webber, who's been good. In fact, that's Cassidy. They've both got the orange boots on. Lord getting involved again. Also Thomas. Thomas, a short kick inboard. Matty Wilkinson's marking it like a 6-footer this afternoon. I think I said that earlier. He's been very good. Stagg, a slipped catch. He dived, juggled. Didn't quite have enough on it. Come off hands, and it will be a ball in. Right on 50, right in front of the Golden Dragons. We'll have a ball in, 91 playing 42. 30 minutes have ticked over, final term. Here's Brian Manbridge, probably for the last time this afternoon, I'd say.
Ball thrown in. Good tap down by Thornton. Couldn't put anyone on the end of it, though. And then Wilkinson holds up Benaki as the umpire says, give it a man, I'll ball it up. And it'll be thrown up 49 metres out. Good work by Eels. Got it knocked down. Stacks on the mill. Benaki in and under. Can't get it out of there. Stagg says, it's going to stay in here. And I'll ball it up again, the umpire says, right on the arc. It hasn't moved as we tick over into 30 minutes. Good tap out. But it'll be Benaki who picks it up. Shows a bit of candy. Takes a bounce. Runs through. Gives it off to Lakey. Got tackled. Brought down. Good hands though. Got it off to Brethington. He went inside. He found Van Castiano. He went out wide, found Graham on the run. They go inside forward 50 and good mark Merritt. He's been pretty good for the Dogs most of the day. And he'll take the kick. As the siren sounds, he plays on. So it won't be a score.
He did play on.
It will
I
be
thought they didn't.
the final score here this afternoon. It'll be the Dragons 13-13-91. They defeated Gisborne 5-12-42 here at the QEO. And it was, well, the Dragons, they just were able to do a little bit more in the second half